Welcome to Grow New Plants. So today I'm going to do a kind of a combination video over grafting and air layering. And I get asked a lot, why would you want to do grafts on fig trees? And part of the reason is you have like a really valuable cutting that you paid a lot of money for, and you can take single nodes and graft them and make several different grafts on several different trees and hopefully get multiple trees out of that one cutting, as opposed to if you just stuck the one cutting, you're just going to get one tree out of it. The problem with it, in areas that get really cold when you graft a tree, so this is a grafted tree right here. It's grafted right here, and I'll show you a close-up of it in a minute. It's a St Rita grafted onto, I believe, onto a brown turkey tree. And this is a graft that I did last year, and it was an in-cutting graft, and it's put all this new growth off throughout the end of the year last year, and then it's took off really nicely this spring. But the problem with grafted trees in areas, especially even where I live, I mean, I'm in the Dallas, Texas area, but it does get down to like 10 degrees for like a week almost every winter. And if you have a tree planted in the ground and it kills it back to the ground, it's going to come back up from down here. It will almost always come back up, but this stuff here might die off. And when it comes back up, it's going to be whatever the rootstock was, which in this case, it's going to not be a St Rita anymore. It's going to be a brown turkey. So I'm going to show you what my theory is on this, on grafting one to get an extra tree out of it, and then I'm going to show you how to get it back on its own roots. So I'm going to move the camera in, and I'll kind of go over what I'm going to do and explain it a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to show you a close-up. This is where I did the graft right here. And it's healed up really nicely. Hopefully that shows there. I'll try and show it in the above camera too. Right here is where the original graft was put in. It's all brown turkey here, St Rita from up to here. So the reason that I'm going to do this is I wanted to get another tree off of this. It was just a short stub cutting that I put on here last year. It was an end cutting. It came up. It's put all this new growth on. But for my area, I want trees to be on their own roots. That way, if this was a tree with its own roots and it died back over a winter, a cold winter, and it came back up, it would come back up as a St Rita because that's the root system that it has. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm doing quite a few of these, I've got several of them going. This is just the closest one I have being ready. So what I'm going to do is, this is my graft right here. I'm going to come in right here and I'm going to air layer this off. And so once this thing grows its own roots out of here, they'll be St Rita roots. I can cut this off, put this back into soil, and then I'll have a true St Rita tree with St Rita roots. That way, if it does die back, it'll come back true to form. And what I'm gonna do here is, this is all St Rita from here up. I'm gonna put my graft or my air layer here because never know, I'm gonna have 2 or 3 nodes left below this. And once I cut this off, these nodes should start putting out new growth, and I could possibly get 2 or 3 more air layers off of this. Once these nodes open up and start growing and they get big enough, I could air layer it again and get several air layers off of this one graft. And honestly, I could just keep doing that over and over again. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put my air layer about right here. And I'm going to show you my method of air layering. You can use the bags. The bags work. I've done that. I just like these little pods. They're simple. They're easy to see when you got roots in them, which you can in the bags too. But these are just a little simpler to me, and I've had good success with them. And I know people use the baggies. I mean, I use these things over and over, so they really don't cost that much. The baggies work fine. I've done that too, so you can do it either way. So what I'm going to do, and I don't want this to get into a big controversy on how to do air layering. What I've done with mine is I just take them and I just scratch the bark. Just injure the bark. I try and stay away from the nodes. And I just come in here and just injure the bark in the area where I'm putting the graft or the air layer at. Some people do completely girdle it. They cut it around it, and completely remove the bark. And I watched a video a while back talking about that, about how that, when all you do is injure it, this tree right here will never suffer. It will never start getting weak or anything because it's losing nutrients because of the girdling. So everything can still travel from the root system up to the top to keep this as healthy as possible till it gets a root system. I know it works both ways, but I'm kind of a fan of the just scarring it and letting it grow roots out of there. It's worked good for me. I've had really good success with them. And I think overall the top tree stays a little bit healthier if all you do is just make scars on it and not necessarily girdle it. And then I've got my Clonex liquid here. I just have an old little cheap paintbrush. You get those off Amazon. And then I just paint that on there for the area that's going to be inside of the little Airlayer ball here, pods or whatever they're called. So I just paint the Clonex on there to help give it a jump start on growing roots. That's sufficient right there. And then I just got, you can use any kind of a soil. This is like Pro Mix that I use for actually starting my rooted cuttings with. See if I can get that where it's in this camera. So it's already moist. And I just pack it in there relatively tight because you want it to make good contact on the root system. So you can't really build it up too much, but you want it to be relatively firm in there and pretty flat. And if you look on these, they've got a little funnel on each side. The funnel is a little bit bigger on one side. Always put the bigger funnel up top. And the reason for that is that I'll show you once I get it on there why I do it that way. So I'm going to lay this thing kind of over on its side. And then I just lay that on there. And then flip that thing over. And then it's got a little latch that holds it shut. And that's on there. So the reason that I put the big funnel on top is that as these things get irrigated, that big funnel will catch a little bit of water and help keep this soil moist. Okay, and I will sit this thing where it still want it to get sun, but I'll sit it amongst other fig trees where this part here is getting a little bit of shade, so this right here doesn't cook. And then hopefully within, I don't know, I've never done an Airlayer this early in the spring, but I think it'll do just fine. I'm guessing maybe 3 or 4 weeks I should be able to see roots in here, and then maybe in 4 or 5 weeks it'll be strong enough that I can come in and cut it off. And I'm still going to have probably just 2 nodes, I guess. I did a little bit lower than what I intended to do, but that's fine. It's more just an experiment than anything. So that's pretty much it. So now, once this thing roots out, I take it, cut it off, plant it into another pot. This will be a true St Rita tree from the top all the way down to the root system. That way, if it ever dies back and comes back from the roots, it'll come back as a St Rita tree. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I will come back whenever this thing's rooted enough where I can open it up and put it into its own pot, I'll come back and do a little short follow-up video on it. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Bye.